All right, week 5, SWATcast. We are back. It's me, you know me. Cousin Johnny's here. We have another special guest. We'll do introductions. Everybody, or not everybody, but a lot of you know him. He, I don't even think he has a first name. He goes by a last name only. He's currently in second place in SWAT, which is the highest he has ever been. So it makes perfect sense that he is the guest this week. He's a diehard Giants fan, a SWAT vet, goes only by Bach. Bach, welcome to SWATcast.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
You got it.
Welcome,
Love
welcome,
love the
Bocktopus.
yeah, it's Boktoberfest.
It is currently Bocktopus. That is true.
All right. Well, welcome. We will get into all of the week 5 stuff momentarily. Bach, obviously jump in whenever you want, but Johnny, we will kick it over to you for your spiel, your hot takes, whatever you got this week. Get it off your
Sure.
chest.
Sure. I got a lot because my Jets are the only team that's winless. Um, and it's not sitting too well, especially because they were part of one of my hot takes last week. But the other one did. The Titans not only covered, but won on the field, which I said they were going to do after Cam Ward famously or infamously said, "We ass." Um, that seemed to get the team going. Again, Brees Hall um, said the Jets just continue to shoot themselves in the face. Um,
In all fairness,
but
you did say the Titans were going to beat the Colts like 2, 3 weeks ago too, and that didn't happen. So
it's a hot take, brother. I can't hit all of them.
yeah, well, that was ice cold.
All right, whatever. Anyway, I got a couple shout outs here. Shout out to the G Club. I just thought with primetime Bach on here, the G Club sounds like somebody that deserves a shout out this week. And the other one is shout out to Henny's Heaters. Um, Reason that one is pertains this week is because LeBron did his decision 2.0. I don't know if you saw that. Um,
What was it? Was it an Amazon thing?
no, it was for Hennessy, which is why we're shouting out Henny Heaters.
Ah, all right.
Um,
Well, that makes sense then. All right.
and
I'll give
and
you credit for that.
also we'll also shout out little bottles because you got to have the little bottles to drink the Henny. So um, those are our shout outs for the week. My hot take is I'm gonna go. We got Eagles Giants Thursday night. I'm gonna go with the Theo Johnson first touchdown. Um, and
He's gonna keep it going.
keep it going. Where?
Well, no,
Because
meaning
he had
meaning
two
he was the
touchdowns.
only one that did anything last week. So you think
Yeah.
he's gonna keep it going on short rest?
Well, I've been on Cam Scatabo every week and he sucks. Um,
Well, he's gonna
so
learn to hold on to the football. That's for sure.
yeah, just like Ramondre too.
Hmm.
Um, and I got my parlay of the week. The last
All
one
right.
actually didn't do terrible
It didn't do
because
terrible. It obviously didn't hit, but I was impressed that 3 out of the 4 actually hit. And one, when you said Tesla, I was like, who the hell is this guy? And looked him up, and I told you afterwards, the guy had 2 catches all year, one of which was a touchdown, and he did actually catch a touchdown, which
he
I
had
was
another
like,
one.
you got to be kidding me.
Jerome Ford was the only one.
Yes, crazy.
So this one is colors. It's the colors parlay. So we've got Jaden Blue, Cowboys running back, backup running back, probably third string running back.
I was gonna say,
But
yeah.
I'm gonna go. He actually just got his first playing time this past week, so I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna go touchdown. I'm gonna go over in his yardage. I'm gonna
Which
go
is like what,
along
one
with
and
the
a
colors.
half?
If hopefully it's a half. I'm,
Oh, you don't even know what it
we've
is?
no, I don't. It's not out yet.
Oh,
We've got Zamir White, who is the running back on the Raiders. Again, also third string, and they only give the ball to Gene T. So whatever his number is, even if it is 1.5, take the under. We've got AJ Brown, anytime touchdown. We've got Matthew Golden. I'm going to go anytime touchdown there, and we've got Noah Gray, Chiefs tight end, anytime touchdown there as well. And again, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 legs to the colors parlay this week.
so you went under on White's yardage?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah,
And
creative.
then for I'm gonna shout out Fire because I gave Fire a shout out last week and they jumped up from 27th up to fourth. Last week, remember, shouted out Fire and Rain. Rain, honestly, I have the top 50 here and I don't see you there, so I don't know where you are. But anyway, shout out Fire.
All right. So the shout outs get you up the leaderboard, I guess.
That's it.
Sometimes. Sometimes. Have look, Bach, let me ask you, speaking of the shout outs, have you ever had to ask somebody if they could recommend a bus driver for you?
A
Like have you
bus?
ever have you ever like asked somebody and been like, hey, you know a good bus driver?
No.
Yeah,
Well,
You ever had a
exactly.
I don't even know
you ever
where
had
you're
a mem-
going with this. I don't think I've been on a bus since I was in, I don't know, eighth grade, I think was the last time I was on a bus.
you ever had a memorable bus driver?
A memorable bus driver. All right, I take that
That's
back.
exactly why you want to
Okay,
recommend
fair
them.
enough. Actually, I'll take that. The last time I was on a bus was probably my honeymoon, taking a bus to a catamaran tour on St. Lucia was probably the last time I was on a bus.
How was the driver?
The driver, I don't know. I was so drunk, I threw
See,
up in my hotel bed afterwards, after I got back. No idea.
Awesome.
A lot of rum punch that day.
Well, the reason why I ask is because Johnny shouted out Lorenzo, the bus driver, and was like, "Hey, if anybody needs a bus driver, maybe we should contact Lorenzo," even though it clearly is a reference um, to a movie and not have anything to do with an actual bus driver. And then we
Mhm.
got in a whole debate of whether or not you would even ask somebody if they knew a bus driver that you could recommend,
I gotcha.
which I said that is the most absurd thing I've ever heard. So
I
figured
feel
I would
like
just throw
buses
that
are
out
one of
there.
those things we're going to tell our kids about that they're like, what are you talking about? You got on a vehicle with like a whole bunch of other people that you didn't know.
It's
And
possible.
now you just recommend an Uber driver.
yeah, correct. Yeah, right.
Yeah. You summon a complete stranger to come pick you up and then get in their car.
Exactly.
Everything we were told not to do when we were kids.
Right. But you pay for it,
Anyway.
so it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Suddenly.
Yeah, now we're actually paying somebody to get into a
Yeah,
stranger's
right.
vehicle.
Exactly. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Some random person I
Where
have no
would we be
idea you're
without
going to
it?
safely get me to my destination. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. All right. Well, anyway, so that came out of the whole shout out thing. So, all right, week five. So week five was pretty crazy with a lot of come from behind wins, um, upsets, and I think just overall the weekend was a complete disaster for New York, between the Jets, Giants, and the Yankees. And we might as well throw the Mets in there since they weren't even part of the playoffs. So just a complete disaster for New York, which makes it probably even more fitting that Bach is on here today because being a diehard Giants fan, going into New Orleans, you would think that they had a chance to win, that they should have won. The fact that that line was 1.5 scared me. That they were underdogs going in at 1.5, which to me was like they're not going to win because like that because you would have thought they would have been favorites going in, but obviously not the
So,
case, and they
so,
didn't win.
well, what actually happened with that line is it started at like Giants were given points. I forget exactly how much it was, and then in the first couple of days, it actually swapped the complete other way, and so you knew all the money was going on the Saints. You're like, all right, well, this is clearly the Giants are just going to get stomped, and it was horrible to watch because first two drives, everything's good. You're like, all right, they're
Yep.
they're they're
Yep.
rolling along. Defense is playing good. Dart scored in the first drive, whatever. And then it just completely fell apart. And you're just like, yep, this is what us Giants fans have been accustomed to over the past decade. So it was
Yeah.
more the same, unfortunately.
They just, I mean, looked like a completely different team after going up two scores. Like, I don't know if they just, sat back and relaxed for a bit, thinking they had it. And I don't know how you could do that as an NFL team, but I don't know, kind of crazy.
I think I think they're I think they're terribly coached. I think Dable's got to go at this point. I don't know what else to attribute it to, but at least we can watch Dart and hopefully he's fine and okay. And he's the only one to watch. But like the rest of the team, if they just keep losing and losing and losing, which they're probably going to do, it's like, hey, at least my Sundays are now completely free to do pretty much anything else. What the Giants do.
Do
That's awful.
you think Dart is the quarterback of the future?
I
Do you
think
think
he's
he's their
shown enough that
franchise?
at least you have a little bit of hope.
Yeah. Yeah.
He seems like a good kid. He seems like he's got a little bit of passion, and it seems like he's got tools. Um, he had a really terrible, I think it was the flea flicker. If you remember from the game, he had there was like a flea flicker that he like horribly underthrew
Yeah, it was underthrown. Yeah.
second
Yeah.
quarter, maybe the third quarter, or something like that. So you're a little worried about his deep ball, but like I don't know, the rest of it, he rushes. I think he's clearly a smart kid, but um, I don't know, man. It's just been so painful since that last Super Bowl to watch the Giants. It's just like,
It
what is
is.
what
It
is going on?
is. Yeah. And then you watch some of these other teams that are like just so much, so much better than them. And you're like, oh, this is what football's supposed to look like. It's awful.
Yeah, right. I mean, and you just then watch. All right, obviously everyone's going to talk about Saquon going to the Philly or going to the Eagles, sorry, and then Daniel Jones going to the Colts, and they're both doing great, and even what's his name, the safety that went to Green Bay and is playing well, and you're just like, what is the matter with the
Yeah.
Giants that all
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
players go somewhere else and they play great. You're like, what the heck is going on? So I don't know. I just wish that there was something to root for. Dart is something to root for. I was hoping he was going to throw to neighbors all year, and
I
we
know.
didn't have
Yeah.
that. So I don't know. So I'm wearing the colors. I'm not going to root for anybody else. But between being a Giants fan and being a New York Mets fan, it's been pretty painful.
Yeah. Yeah. So is that why you're wearing the sunglasses to hide the tears?
Yeah, there's a lot of tears. But you know what I do is I just internalize it, I just swallow it and then just like put it out of my mind. So like I'll probably just go psychotic. It'll just
All
like
right.
come out like 10 years from now and I'll just go crazy.
And then
For
keep
now,
drinking and throw up in your hotel bed.
there you go. That's all I do. That's why I got the hat on.
What do you
Well,
think of the new
hopefully,
kickoff? What do you think about the new kickoff rules?
It's horrible. They should just get rid of it.
Get rid of the rule or kickoffs?
They should either get rid of the kickoff or just go back to the old regular kickoff with no this is where you start or you can't get the running start, like all this stuff. Like either go all one way or all the other way. I think how it is now is just kind of dumb. The other thing that I don't really love about it is because like there's way too many one team dominates for the entire game and then the other team scores a late touchdown and then they get the ball back and then they're getting the ball and they only need like
Yeah,
25 yards to hit a
yeah,
it
for a
happened
field
last
long
night
goal.
field goal. Like
in
to
the
me,
Chiefs game.
that's like
Like,
kind of cheapening the rest of the game. So it's almost turning into like an NBA only pay attention for the last 2 minutes
That's
of the
like,
game.
yep.
The whole rest of the game doesn't matter. That's what I feel the NFL is unfortunately turning into.
I mean, again, it happened last night when the Chiefs scored late,
Right.
kicked it out of the end, kicked it out of bounds.
Yep.
They're already at the 40.
Yeah.
But I tell you, it does. I mean, I don't know. It's funny watching the kickers like not try to kick it as hard anymore because
I don't
if
actually
it goes
understand
too
why
far,
more returners aren't letting the ball bounce. That's one thing I really haven't figured out because I feel like they're fielding so many kicks that would go out of bounds
hmm.
that they're not. And I don't really understand that, but maybe I'm missing
Well,
something.
probably because then they look stupid when it bounces a certain way and they don't even, then they don't get it at all. And then they wish they had caught it in the first place.
Most of them, it's the one thing that they do. So they probably just want to have fun and run
That's true.
around.
They're probably thinking I'm going to return this and, look like a hero. So,
Yeah.
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 yeah. Yeah.
I, I,
And,
I don't like the sorry, Adam. I don't like the kickoff rule. I think there's too many penalties. I think there's
oh, yeah.
not enough defense.
Okay, Boomer.
I just think there's just a lot to be frustrated about in the current NFL, and I hope that they kind of turn that around. Although I try to say like, all right, am I pissed off at the NFL because of all that stuff, or am I pissed off at the NFL because the Giants are terrible?
Yeah. I
And I
think you're
don't
soured because of your team that you root
correct,
for.
and I don't really actually know what
If they were undefeated and like defending Super Bowl champs, you wouldn't care what rule they would put in.
probably not. If they were taking advantage of the rule, I'd be okay with the rule. But
Exactly.
because they
Exactly.
not, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And it's funny you bring up Daniel Jones because that was going to be my next question for you. Because if you remember, your entry name last year was Daniel Jones sucks. So,
I would have
maybe
shouted
you
that out.
jinxed them.
Maybe.
Yeah, because
Um,
that doesn't seem to be the case.
so if you look at his okay, so if you look at his stat line, he's the top 10 QB. However, he's not doing anything like nuts, but they're just like a solid team with like
They
solid
are.
role
They
players, like
yes,
halfway decent offensive line.
yes,
So then you go, all right, is it just because the Giants had no offensive line and he ran for his life every play? Um, were all their receivers terrible, which couldn't be fully the case because obviously Neighbors was there and had a record rookie year. So, does it come down to where I think the answer is that I think the coaching staff is just awful, and I think that they just don't know how to get the best out of some of these players and
yeah,
coach around the deficiencies that clearly other teams and other good coaching staffs to say, all right, these are the guys I got. what do I do to just get whatever I can get out of them? And I feel
Yeah.
like at this point, I don't know what the other explanation is. I don't know what you guys think, but that's kind of where I think I'm landing at this point. That Dable and company are just awful.
Yeah, no, I mean, they obviously play to the strengths because, like you said, when they leave the Giants and go elsewhere, all of a sudden like their careers are resurrected and they're, and then the Giants are like, oh man, I wish I had him. Well, you did. But yeah, so maybe, I don't know, maybe it is the coaching. I liked Dable when he first came but you got to question when, they haven't done anything in a few years now. I don't know. What else
Yeah,
do you,
I
what's the
clearly
answer?
Listen,
2022 is the fluke, right? Beating Minnesota in that playoff game is clearly the fluke at this point.
Yeah.
Johnny, what do you think?
I'm a Jets fan, and Aaron Glenn's the first Jets coach ever to go 0-5, and they've had some shit teams. So I don't think much.
You
My
think they're going
Sundays
to
have
win a
been
game
free.
this
My
year?
Sundays have been free for years, brother.
You think they're going to win a game this year or what?
Yeah, I actually think they cover this week against the Broncos, coming off a huge win. Who in their
Cover
right
or
mind would
win?
cover?
Okay.
That's what
Well,
I'm
I said
betting. I don't
win.
care.
Well, I
Yeah, I
know,
think
but I
they'll
said,
win a
are they
game.
going to win? Oh, all right.
Yeah, they'll win.
They'll be the Patriots the next time they play them.
Maybe the Bills
The
couldn't.
Patriots,
They'll
I
be
was going to
Miami.
say, the Patriots would just beat the Bills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right.
All right. So next thing, just to warn you, maybe we should have warned you earlier, but there potentially is a SWAT jinx, or a SWATcast jinx anyway, since last week we had Bethany on. She was our first guest that we had on. She was hesitant to even come on, because she didn't want to jinx herself. And boy, did I get some nasty messages sent my way after Arizona blew that game against Tennessee, because that happened
Oh,
to be the
that was their
team
pick.
that Bethany picked. So she got a -1. Now, I told her she wasn't the only one, if it makes her feel any better. I think it was like 60 something people picked Arizona. To which she said, no, it doesn't at all. So she is not thrilled that she came on, that she thinks it is a jinx. So, hey, there could be a potential SWATcast jinx. So
Good day.
we'll have to see what you do this week, Bach, and we'll determine if that's the case. And I mean, the fact that you're in second place, I don't know, are you a little bit worried now?
No, considering the fact that this is the first year in, I mean, how many years has it been? Have you been doing it now? Eight, six,
No, I've
seven?
been doing this for like a dozen years.
Has it been that long?
Yeah, I think this is the 13th season.
Is it real? Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Time
in
flies when
third,
you don't break the top 10.
I haven't even broken the top, 40 probably in 13 years then. So
Well, since 2015, your average finish is
yeah,
97th.
yeah. Out of what's the average number of entrants?
136 average, like
Okay.
since 2015.
Okay.
And your average points scored during that time, -33.
I was gonna say, I bet you it's negative just because of I knew that was coming.
It's
So,
terrible.
so here,
Last year was
no, I gave up at like
with
week seven
yeah,
last
you
week, six
clearly
or
did
something.
because you finished 205th out of 214 and with
Yeah,
-400 points. I mean,
yeah.
that is impressive.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, so those numbers are skewed.
So here's the thing. So I love SWAT, but because it's the point differential, you really have to you have to keep up if you want to win. It's great because you're not out of it. So like one
Yeah,
bad week early, you can stick with it. But
sure.
if you pick two losers in a row, you're probably not, and especially big losers, you're not gonna catch
Yeah.
up. And then there's other prior years which Johnny will, I'm sure, appreciate as well. When you have young kids and it's Sunday morning and you've had 5 hours of sleep, sometimes you completely forget, and then you're like, now I'm stuck with the 4 o'clock games. And there's only like three of them, and then you're like, oh, or you get stuck with Monday night, and then you try
Yeah.
to pick that game or whatever. But excuses aside, I'm not worried
Set
about
a
them.
reminder. Set a
Get
reminder.
them in early. Now
You have all week long.
so what I do now is I'm only in 2 leagues now. So I don't
Okay.
do any fantasy anymore. I do a pick'em league, like a rank 16 to 1
Yep.
league,
Yep.
and then I do SWAT. That's all I do. I make all of my pick'em picks on Thursday because I start forgetting the early Sunday games. Late in the season, I'll forget the Saturday games. So now I just
And you're on the
whatever the
clock at
lines are.
work.
Yeah, I just, well, I who cares? But I just do them all on Thursday, so I don't have to worry about it. And then I set an alarm for noon. Yeah, is it noon? It's either 11 o'clock or noon on Sunday to text that because
Okay.
I actually stay completely away from Thursday, and then I just pick the Sunday games. But I have an alarm now this year, so I don't forget. That's my
And you
usual.
are probably one of about 120 people who text me right around noon on a Sunday, give or take maybe half an hour to an hour. So
I've actually been up these past couple weeks early, so I've texted you at like 8 o'clock the past couple weeks. So I'm actually like been ahead of it, but just in case I have that tripwire that I'm not like,
good, smart,
on
smart.
on the
Smart.
golf course or something, and I forget to text you on a Sunday. So
No, no, I hear you. All right, so real quick, so we started a game last week with Bethany as a guest, the mini SWAT. So I picked four games that had really low spreads. Didn't think people would pick them. Unfortunately, Bethany did not win in that one, and she was not happy about that either. And I'm like, that doesn't even mean it. Like that has nothing to do with SWAT. But
so this is where
she
she went up against Johnny for the picks.
yes, yes.
Okay.
So Bethany had Baltimore.
Wow, baseballs.
Let's see, Baltimore, Carolina, the Chargers, and the Cowboys. So she won with the Cowboys. But overall, she was
Not
minus
great.
33. Johnny was 30 plus 33. So that's how that ended. So we'll do the same thing again here. So Johnny's 1-0. So you're gonna take him on. So I've got four games.
Eating those dubs.
We got Eaton W's is box entry name, so you'll see that if you look at the number two in the standings right now. Um, we'll see if he stays that way or what happens for next week. But
Or
all right,
eat or
so
get eat.
yeah, so we got four games. Bach, I'll let you pick first, and then we'll alternate. So you each have four teams. All right.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So the first one is Seattle at Jacksonville.
Ooh. Seattle at Jacksonville. I mean,
Johnny,
that line's
you
only
got
what,
San
like
Francisco
one,
at
one and a
Tampa.
half?
All these lines are like anywhere from 1.5 to like
Yeah.
maybe 2.5,
And
3.5,
And
something like that.
Jacksonville is at home, right?
They are at home, yes.
I'll take Tampa, Ed.
I'll take Jacksonville.
Okay. So Box got Jacksonville. Johnny's got Tampa. All right. Detroit at Kansas City.
That's for me or for Johnny.
That is now for you, Bach.
Detroit and Kansas City. Is
Johnny,
KC really going to
you
keep
got
losing? I think
Dallas
that's
at Carolina.
What a shit game.
I know.
Well, that's why it's part of this, because I don't see
I'm
anybody
taking
picking
that.
any
I'm
of
taking
those.
I'll
Dallas. I'm taking Dallas.
All right.
Yeah, I like Dallas too. You know what?
I'm
I'll
only
take
20 bucks
Kansas
to
City.
get
There's
Dallas.
no way Kansas City loses again.
All right. Yeah, we shall
I
see.
think that one's only 2.5, right?
Yeah, they're all like I said, they're all like 1 to 3 points.
There's
Because
not
there's
a lot
actually
of
some
there's not a
they
lot of blowout spreads this year. I think, or this week. I think the only big one, Green Bay
no
Cincy is
there
the
was
only huge
like
one.
there was a lot that was
Since he got a new quarterback, though.
like yeah they do. Is he gonna play right away? I mean, I guess they'll do whatever they can, right?
Black
But
Attack?
to
I
get
think
him
he
on,
is.
I think you have to. That's why you got
yeah,
him.
So to
probably.
roll it into the Giants, I was actually pissed. There's no way. Would you rather have Joe Flacco or Russell Wilson?
Russell Wilson.
I mean, if you ask me preseason, I would probably say Russell Wilson, but I don't
Yeah.
think any one of them stands out more than the other
Yeah.
that much.
I was just. It just seems like the Giants didn't even try to make a trade there for literally anything, bag of balls, whatever. But
Yeah, I don't know. I
uh,
don't know. All right. Well, I think that about wraps it up. Week 5 SWATcast. Johnny, any last thoughts?
Thank you for coming on. Again, anybody that
thanks
wants to
for
come
having me.
on and talk ball with Adam and I, feel free to reach out to Adam.
No, I appreciate it. I told Adam this is weird territory for me. Second place. Maybe I'll get first this week, but I don't
Congrats
know.
on
See
being
how
out
I
of the
handle
top
the
10.
pressure.
Yeah, usually give up like around now, maybe. Now you maybe give it a couple more weeks,
A couple
but
more weeks and
I
then
feel like you'll be in it for the long haul for this season, unless
I
something
have
goes
to
terribly wrong.
I have to at least try at this point. So
Yeah, yeah,
we'll keep it going for a few weeks at
The
least.
over under for you still 96th place, so we'll see what happens.
Wow.
yeah. Well, yeah, 90. He averages
Could I
97.
could
So,
I mean at this point could I go what was I negative 400
Yeah,
last
that's
year?
crazy.
well, last year you were, yeah.
Because I stopped at like week 5 or 6.
You probably,
So
yeah,
what?
you had to
How many
have.
points? How many points do I have right now? 100 something.
You have
21.
121.
Yeah.
So if I went, yeah. So if I stopped now and just took the loser every time,
It's still tough to do.
I'd still be negative, probably negative 150 or something, negative 200.
Um, yeah, I would think at least because
Yeah.
the biggest loser every week is usually 20 something to 30
Yeah.
points. So,
Right. Yeah.
and then every
So
once in a while you get one of those like 40 pointers. So yeah, so don't give up. You have your
the
reminder, send a pick, play with pride.
more pride than my Giants. That's for sure.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
And wake up early and watch the Jets.
No, I'm
That's what I'll
definitely
leave you
not doing
with.
that
That's
at
what I'll
all.
leave you with.
No. As
Feel
bad
the
as the
game.
Giants ever get, we're still not the Jets.
That
All
is
right, buddy.
true.
Always have that.
You're not
That
welcome
actually is
back.
true.
You're not welcome back here.
On that note, we will call it a night for SWATcast. Week 6 coming up. Don't forget your picks. Good luck. Thanks, Bach, for coming on. Appreciate it.
Have a good week.
See ya.
Peace.